In 1984, Detroit Tigers legend Kirk Gibson delivered one of the most memorable World Series performances in Michigan history. Today, that same determination and resilience are helping inspire a new kind of victory. After his own diagnosis, Gibson has become a leading advocate for those living with Parkinson's disease.
That mission lives on through the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness, which serves the community of individuals living with Parkinson's, along with the family members and care partners who support them. I'm Chris Doherty.
And I'm Chris Benson. We're honored to welcome Mary Lynn Foster, CEO of the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. Welcome to Celebrate Michigan, the show produced on the campus of Madonna University. Mary Lynn, we're delighted that you're here.
Thank you, Chris. And Chris, I'm absolutely honored to be with you today.
Great.
Excellent. I'm sure you had a long history of success and exciting things before getting connected with the Kirk Gibson Center. How did you find your way there?
Well, you're right. I've had just a fortunate career. My early career was in public accounting, kind of followed that traditional path into corporate, but always had a passion for nonprofit, honestly, serving on different boards, and had the opportunity to get my first step into nonprofit when we were living temporarily in Ohio. And then I like to say when the American Red Cross calls, you can't say no. And that led me to the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. So moving back to Michigan, as a Michigan native, I was just honored to be able to come back. And when I learned about the center, it really was a culmination of my life's work, from leading teams, both in the corporate life and then also in the nonprofit life as well, and also having family members with Parkinson's, and the new center just in my own backyard.
Wow. So you mentioned multiple experiences working with multiple organizations. What have some of those crossover experiences taught you?
Well, a lot. First of all, it's all about the people and leadership, and it's about culture. You really have to build a strong culture in your team to execute on the mission. People, it's all about that, and it's about building that teamwork. It's all about the culture building and really setting that tone from the highest levels all the way through the organization. That has been the mantra that I live by, and I think what I've been able to navigate through, these various career stages.
It's great.
And I'm guessing you were familiar with Kirk Gibson prior to
Of course.
I mean, as a native Michigander, you couldn't, and as someone who was celebrating the '84 World Series myself, just to be connected with that name recognition, I have to ask, I'm assuming that you've met him.
Of course.
Okay, and so what is he like behind the scenes? And as you've been getting to know him, knowing him as a legend and then coming in to work in a center that is in his name.
Well, first growing up as a young girl in the Detroit area, going to the old Tiger Stadium, right? Just going with family members to the Tigers. I've been a Tiger fan my entire career, as my family has been as well. But then when I learned about the center and actually getting to meet Kirk for the first time, when I was interviewing, I was like, how do you prepare for an interview with Kirk Gibson? Right? It's a little overwhelming, but he didn't make it overwhelming at all. He is so kind, so gentle, and so inspiring as well. I remember that first time that I met him, it was over Teams, and we just chatted. It was just a conversation about his diagnosis, his vision for the center, my background, and hopefully how we can marry that all together.
That's great. It's a terrific story. So what makes nonprofit leadership different from working in other sectors?
That's a very interesting question. I get that question a lot. And what I like to say is there are differences, but there are a lot of similarities, right? So the differences are really the product, right? So it's the mission of the nonprofit, right? That is, you're not building something, you're not producing a vehicle. It's all about the mission. That's the main difference. But what's similar also, it's the people. Your number one asset. It's all about the people, taking good care of your people, recruiting the right people for the right position that they're in.
Great advice for all of us. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And you mentioned the mission. It's very important to us here at our own institution. What was it about this mission that attracted you? Because I know the words are only words, and when you're first getting acquainted with an institution, but then now I'm sure those words mean something very different to you.
It's all about community. And that's why it's the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. Very intentional about that word on wellness. It's really meant, and this is very important to Kirk, to have a center where it's not just exercise-based and bringing people together, but it's also that hub of community where people with Parkinson's feel safe, that they know they don't have to hide their diagnosis any longer. They can come to the center and present as they are, whether you're newly diagnosed with Parkinson's or maybe like one of our members who has been diagnosed for over 26 years. It's that hub of community, and that's listening to Kirk. When I first started, it was still under construction, so I had the opportunity to tour and just really help visualize what that would look like and just really help get the center over the finish line with construction and then seeing it all come together. I like to call it the magic that really brought it all together.
That's great. So let's talk about the people and the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. Who does the center serve?
So anyone with Parkinson's, with a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, and care partners. And that's a really important distinction because it's not just the person with Parkinson's. Often people with Parkinson's have care partners that they rely upon for transportation, for support, but it's meant for Southeast Michigan primarily. We know from research, and these are staggering statistics, that there are 8,000 people with Parkinson's in Southeast Michigan. Over 1 million people with Parkinson's in the country. It is the #1 growing neurological disease. So unfortunately, there's no cure yet, and the numbers are just increasing. So it's really serving people with Parkinson's and their care partners.
That's great. All those wraparound services is terrific.
Yes.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, it's time for a short break. When we come back, we'll learn more from Mary Lynn Foster. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss it.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
My name's Reggie. Just recently, my wife and I took in her sister's children. And we already had 4, so I went from becoming a family man to a man with a bigger family. Now, you can't eat love, so I don't know how I'm gonna feed them tonight. How was that, Reg?
I think I look more like Denzel.
That's cold, man.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Doherty.
And I'm Chris Benson, along with Mary Lynn Foster, CEO of the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. We would love to hear about what happens in the Wellness Center. I mentioned your website. It gave me a glimpse. I haven't been to the center yet. I will. But tell us what we can expect when we would go there.
So when you walk into the center, and it's at the first time it can seem a little overwhelming. It's almost 40,000 square feet.
Wow.
So it's quite large. But really our intent is once you come, it's going to feel like your new home or your second home. So you walk in, you learn a little bit about Kirk Gibson's background, his storyboard.
Oh, neat.
Right, our donor recognition wall, of course. And then you walk into, think about your kitchen area, but much larger. So we're very intentional with the design of different types of seating and tables because people with Parkinson's have different needs. And then it's all surrounding really a kitchen area. So it's that community hub. And then it's not just about that social interaction, but it's about having fun as well. We have a little clubhouse area, so you can play pool, you can play ping pong, foosball, pinball, you can play all sorts of board games. But the number one sleeper, which I was not anticipating, are jigsaw puzzles.
Right.
Oh.
So we started with one jigsaw puzzle table, and it has just, because of the members loving this activity, they just bring puzzles and more puzzles, and so at any given time, there may be 3 different puzzles being worked at the same time. So it's really that hub of that community center. We invite everyone to bring a lunch. There's kitchen, complimentary coffee, tea, hot chocolate. Come and be with us for the day. And then surrounding the community area are all the various classrooms because movement really does matter. And that's our mantra, right? We want people with Parkinson's to come and participate in classes. And we also have an elevated walking track. And it's important for care partners to come too. They can participate in the walking track that looks down upon the various classes in the community, so you can always see what's going on. So that's all within about 40,000 square feet.
And what a great idea to have, again, for, oftentimes caregivers or, partners that are working with the person with Parkinson's, to give them an opportunity where they can also model, like, okay, I'm out here, I'm doing a couple laps, right?
Absolutely. And sometimes care partners also might need a bit of a respite also, right? So another aspect for care partners or the person with Parkinson's is we have 2 quiet rooms. Sometimes you just need a little respite so you can dim the lights, kick back the electric recliner, and do whatever you want to do. If you want to take a little nap, listen to some music, pop open a laptop, whatever it is, we have those opportunities. And then what I really love also is on our elevated walking track, there are 2 corners. We call them the dugouts, of course. And the same kind of thing, like a little touch point where you can rest, get some work done, do whatever it is you need to do, take a break. So we really try to be intentional about the layout and being able to see. During construction, a lot of walls were taken down, glass in place so that you can see room to room.
For these members that you see regularly, what are some of the impacts that you observe, either on those members or their family members as well? Yeah.
Well, we are hearing a lot from the members and the care partners. So, for example, we have All Abilities coming to us, and we really are powered by volunteers. Right, so members come in to our front desk reception area. They're checked in for their classes by volunteers. And we've had volunteers say, oh, well, for example, Mr. Jones was coming in with a walker. I've noticed that over 2 weeks, he is no longer needing his walker. So we're all seeing the difference that is people with Parkinson's is experiencing because we know movement matters and it helps slow the progression of the disease as well.
That's great that you're their partners and also experiencing the thrill of their being well
Right.
as a result of that work. It's great. It's great. Yeah.
And what type of classes do you have at the center?
We have a large assortment of classes. We put them into 3 different modalities. So our first modality of class is really that physical wellness. So those classes that will get your heart going, your cardio going. So it might be running a treadmill or on a bike or a recumbent bike, really just getting that heartbeat going, right? There's also a boxing class. Studies have shown that boxing classes are really helpful for people with Parkinson's. It helps with eye-hand coordination, with stance, with mobility. So that's a very popular class as well. We also offer larger type group classes such as Power Moves, a research-based Parkinson's class. It really helps stretch people with Parkinson's because we know that people with Parkinson's tend to have can get smaller, right? So this really helps with their stretching and their agility. So that's one modality of classes. Another modality is what we call the healing arts. So more of those quieter classes. So it might be yoga or Tai Chi, for example. So those classes really help with freezing of gait and transition and turning. So there's that category of classes. And then there's also the Fit for You. It helps with cognition, and it helps with speech. We have a singing group, for example, and during the holidays, they put on a little concert for us, which is beautiful. So on any given day throughout the center, you can hear the choir singing, which is just so beautiful. And that's all supported through education as well. We partner with Michigan Parkinson's Foundation, and they help with education, classes, speakers, and also caregiver and member support groups as well.
Oh, that's great. So community engagement, volunteer engagement, engagement of all the caregivers for the members you serve. Terrific.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds like it's definitely wraparound for sure.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It is. And it really was only possible that we were able to implement the program because we partnered with an organization out of Cleveland called In Motion. And Kirk and the leadership team studied organizations across the country to find out, because it was really Kirk's vision to have this community center, because he knows how isolating the disease can be. And so went to various organizations across the country, lucky to find the center in our own backyard in Cleveland that we partnered with to help implement and put into action their curriculum. So the classes I described, it's really modeled after their curriculum.
Oh, wonderful. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope we
bad
don't
day
have another bad day
today.
at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to Celebrate Michigan. I'm Chris Benson.
And I'm Chris Doherty, and we're joined by Mary Lynn Foster of the Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. So we've talked about the environment at the center and so much of the great work that you do. Take us into a day at the center and sort of what that experience is like and things that you'd like our audience to know about the center.
Well, it starts early at the center, so members start arriving anywhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning. We do offer some evening classes, but members walk in, they're greeted by volunteers at a reception desk. And so many of our volunteers are getting to know members. And also, when they haven't seen a member in a while, they're recognizing, well, how is this member doing? Because I haven't seen Charlie for a while. And then members come in and they check in, they attend their class, and then in between, they're in the community center and just really enjoying each other. And it's just a wonderful spirit. And that's what I like to say. I've gotten to know so many of the members and care partners, and it's just sitting down and having that conversation. And I've had members say, this is not only helping me physically, it's helping me emotionally, mentally. I've had a member say, since I started coming, I've lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
That's like, wow. I mean, because they're up and active, and they're coming to the center, and they're not isolated any longer. So there are other tangible benefits to coming to the center as well. But any given day, it's a hustle and bustle of members coming and volunteers assisting.
So great that you offer that opportunity for encounter and engagement for everybody who you work with. That's great. It's great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and if I know anything about nonprofits, I know that you you give a heart and soul to the work and the mission, and there's never enough of everything to do all the things you aspire and want to do.
Right.
I'm guessing that's probably true here as well.
Right.
So we have a lot of people watching the show right now. What can they do to support the work of the center?
Well, thank you. So first and foremost, because I want to share, everything that we do at the center is free of charge. Right?
Oh, wow.
We'll never ask a member care partner for any money, no insurance. So everything, always fundraising. So of course, financial donations are critical for our longevity, but also our volunteers. They are the magic behind the scenes that make everything happen, from recruitment to engagement. And volunteers typically will say, well, they don't like to be recognized. I understand that. But sometimes you just have to give an extra thanks to volunteers because they're coming. We have volunteers that are coming several times a week, freely volunteering their time. And we're a family. We've developed that family of volunteerism. We've all gotten to know each other, and the members and the care partners and the volunteers it really has become a second home. But if you're interested, if anyone has a little bit of extra time and could volunteer, right now there are 3 primary positions. So that front desk volunteer. So a member comes in to check them in, maybe answer a few phone calls. If you're able to do that, a morning or an afternoon shift, that would be fantastic. We also have the position of ambassador in the center because we want to make sure everyone's comfortable with navigating the center and getting room to room. So if you just like to socialize and come have fun, that's a great volunteer position for you. And then also classroom assistant. Because we are so lean, we have paid coaches, and we maintain a 1 coach to 10 member ratio for safety. So having an extra set of eyes and ears and hands in a classroom is key to help make that all happen.
Awesome.
It's clear you also have a role just educating the community about Parkinson's. What are some of the misperceptions that you notice the community has about Parkinson's?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people don't really understand the diagnosis and to recognize that someone may have Parkinson's. From facial masking, you may meet someone with Parkinson's, not know that they have Parkinson's, but they may just look stoic, right? So a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand how important it is that movement does matter and that how you can slow the progression as well. And then also just the other, the tremors, and Parkinson's presents itself or can present itself differently in people. So it's just understanding the full story of Parkinson and Parkinsonisms.
It's great. Yeah.
And where can our viewers find out more information? I'm sure you have a website. I'm sure you're on the socials. Tell them where to find you if
Absolutely.
they want to find
Through
you.
social media, a lot of information on our website, and that's kirkgibsoncenter.org. So you can navigate that. It's an easy link to volunteer. There's a link there to learn more about Kirk's story as well, and we just invite everyone to come join us.
And I know you mentioned come to see a tour of.
Yes.
So how would someone do that? They just give
So
you
there
a
are a
call?
couple of ways.
Okay.
On Monday afternoons, we offer tours at 1 o'clock and at 3 o'clock. So you can just contact us through our website or call our number that we can arrange that. Or if that's not convenient, just reach out and we'll schedule a one-off tour. We want everyone, no matter if you have Parkinson's or not, if you're a care partner or not, just come join us. Come see what we're all about and learn more about Parkinson's disease.
The Kirk Gibson Center for Parkinson's Wellness. So grateful for everything we've learned about you and your work today and all the work of the center.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. My honor and pleasure.
Oh, and it was our honor and pleasure to have all of you watching today out there in Michigan. We're glad you're here, and we hope you join us next time so you can learn about all these places that are making positive impacts on our state. See you soon.